So I think when it comes to shouting and yelling and screaming, your environment has a big effect on it. Like your ability to be able to do that and sound good. Um, I think even what time you're deciding to do it. If you're deciding to do it let's say you decided to do it at 2 in the morning when everyone's sleeping in your house, I don't think you're gonna sound as good compared to if you do it um, at you know 4 in the afternoon in a place where it depends on the setting. Do you know what I mean? The way you're doing it, like I said, the environment you're doing it. If you want to do it in the bus station in front of a load of people, I mean, everyone's gonna look at you like you're a complete madman if you do that. But if you've got the balls to do that, if you're fearless, you know, it can sound really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, you might get arrested if you do it. I don't think you get arrested. Well, you could get arrested, but people are just going to look at you like you're a madman and they might attack you. I don't know. um, there's just different environments you can do it in. You know, if you can do it in a studio, you can do it in a gig. Do you know what I mean? If you're in a band, you can do it with your band. You know, when you hear people say like how to scream like someone like Kurt Cobain, you know, people who try to do that, they try and do it in their house, you know, and I mean you probably can. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not saying it's necessarily impossible to do it in your house. It might be possible, but at the same time, I just feel like there's a possibility that it might not be possible. Is what I'm saying. You know, I just okay. Scratch all out. You know what I want to say is yeah, you know, it's the environment you do it is going to have an effect on your ability to sound good, is what I'm saying. Is what I meant to say. So, if you want to be able to scream like someone like Kurt Cobain, get in a band, go to the studio, do some gigs, with your band. Or you could just be a solo act and you could do it then, you know. But don't try and do it in your house. I mean, I don't know. I'm in rehab at the minute, so I just feel like it's a really calm and peaceful environment. So for me to try and scream here, it's not really gonna work, you know. If I want to be able to sound good, I've got to get out there. I've got to go to the studio. I've got to, be in a band and do it with my band, in a studio or in a gig. It's kind of hard to sound good doing it in rehab where it's such a peaceful environment, you know. Um, Maybe being surrounded by people that don't necessarily want to hear it, you know. If you go to a gig, everyone wants to hear it, and I don't know, I just feel like, so much goes into your, your ability to be able to scream like that. So much goes into it. Um, you got to understand that Kurt Cobain was a big rock star. Do you know what I mean? It's all gonna have an effect on your voice. You know. The way you think about things is going to have an effect on your voice. Um, your relationships you have with people is going to have an effect on your voice. Just the kind of person that you are is going to have an effect on your voice. Depending, if you're disciplined, it's going to have an effect on your voice. If you're not disciplined, it's going to have an effect on your voice. Um, your mental health is going to have an effect on your voice. Your ability to scream is what I mean. And to sound good. It's not just about technique. Do you know what I mean? I feel like people just want like a shortcut, and I don't know, I just feel like people are dumb, to be honest. I feel like they're just small minded or simple minded, and they just feel like how to scream like Kurt Cobain, and they just gotta pop it in on YouTube, and someone's gonna tell them a technique, as if that's like, and you're gonna be able to scream like that. It's not that simple, you know. Your personality is going to have an effect on your voice. So it sounds stupid, but literally, um, if you hold eye contact with people, if you smile, if you don't smile, if your posture, the way you look, and that people can say like, oh, you can't help the way you look. I mean, that's kind of true, but at the same time, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you can just be real instead of acting like a dummy. Do you know what I mean? So that's just something to think about. All right, bye.